Maldives, an island nation located 2,142 kilometers away from India, found itself as a target of boycott calls by Indians after three Maldivian ministers rubbed India the wrong way by making crude, racist remarks at the Prime Minister. And this has basically resulted in a major diplomatic row. The Maldivian government has rushed to damage control, distancing itself from the remarks that were made by Malsha Sharif, Mariyam Shiuna and Abdullah Mazoom Majid, and eventually suspending them. Take a look at this report and then we get you that exclusive interview with the former Vice President.
4 days after Prime Minister's visit to Lakshadweep, Maldivian ministers rubbed India the wrong way. The crude and racist remarks by Maldivian ministers have come under fire. The Maldivian government is now trying to distance itself. Meanwhile, New Delhi summoned the Maldivian envoy today. The diplomatic row is only getting bigger. Cancelled by Indians, it is a reality check for the Maldivian government.
I believe that the suspension of those ministers is not good enough. Maldives is primarily running on tourism. 30% of their GDP comes from tourism, and India substantially adds to their tourism. Now, if they did not care enough about that business, so should we not. And as a company which is always nation first, we have decided to take a stance on it. In fact, I was the first one, among the first ones to tweet about when our Honorable Prime Minister decided to post pictures of Lakshadweep. I have personally been to Lakshadweep. It's a beautiful location. And I requested people to consider Lakshadweep as an option without saying anything about Maldives.
This is Bureau Report, Republic TV.
In fact, while the present dispensation appears to be tilting towards China with the present president on a state visit to China. In fact, this is perhaps one of the few presidents of Maldives who've chosen China over India as their first state visit. In fact, this hasn't really gone down well in Maldives, with several leaders in Maldives essentially saying that an immediate correction should be done on the course that has been charted by the current government. In an exclusive interview, Republic spoke to the former Vice President of Maldives in the diplomatic row. Listen. The contribution that Indians have had to the economy of Maldives, do you believe that the current disposition has completely forgotten the fact, the kind of contribution that India has made, and something that the current disposition cannot just simply wish away?
Yeah, I would say the Indian contribution has been very high. Let's say the tourism started from 1972. The first bank for Maldives was SBI, and State Bank of India has contributed a lot to Maldivian investors, loans on tourism. So that was our beginning. And I would say within this the last 50 years of tourism, Indian investors has contributed. And when I was the Minister of Tourism, we engaged with a lot of Bollywood celebrities to promote Maldives. So I would say, and now currently the Indian tourism is the biggest one, and first and second of the market. So I would say it is not a matter of forgetting, but I would say it is an extreme element in the ruling party that is kind of anti-India sentiments are there. But we cannot forget these points, and we cannot, ignore these points. That the fact that we need India for the development of tourism as well as the economy of Maldives. So we need to have good relations with India.
Mr. Ajib, just want to also understand this. What could be the compulsions for senior ministers of this current government to make deplorable comments like this? This has never happened. We haven't really seen this kind of comments really coming in from any other country, for that matter. And for those who understand diplomacy, would have seen some sort of maturity. senior ministers making a comment about a prime minister and more importantly about a friendly neighbouring country. What are the compulsions of this government for making such kind of comments?
So I would say that if you can remember, this government came in with a campaign of India Out campaign, which was started by the former president, Yamin. But with the new president coming in, I would say there is still the activism. The activist who was in the party has been now promoted to deputy ministers. So this is their activism continuing from those campaign trials. But as you said, when you are a ruling party and when you are in the government, you cannot make these kinds of mistakes. You cannot be undiplomatic towards the leaders, and especially Prime Minister Modi is not only the Prime Minister of India, but he's a global leader and he's a regional leader. And during the COVID, India has helped us immensely. So we should not forget that, and we should be more responsible, because when you are in the power, you are responsible for the livelihood of the people of Maldives, and our tourism is the only livelihood we have. So we have to be more diplomatic and more friendly towards, especially our neighbouring countries.
Mr. Ajib, with regards to the reaction coming in from the Maldivian government, we've seen that the Maldives president is on a state visit to China. Do you believe that there is some sort of a compulsion coming in from the Chinese side that they perhaps needs to make visible overtures bending towards the Chinese at this point in time, keeping in mind the kind of crisis that the countries currently face? For instance, what we've seen in Sri Lanka, and now for that matter in Maldives. Maldives is essentially looking forward to some sort of an investment coming in from China. Do you believe that's the real picture, that's the real compulsion that the current government has? Even if they have, they're forgetting that India plays a pivotal role in the region.
So for the government, the new government is just 60 days in. The formal way of any Maldivian president is to first have a state visit with India, but this is the first time it's been different. So we are yet to see what will happen in China and what is the decisions they are going to take there. So as you rightly said, that India plays a pivotal role in this region. So we have to be more diplomatic, and we should be more balanced in our foreign policy. So what we are looking here is they have embarked one state visit to Turkey and then now second visit to China. So yet it is to be seen what are the decisions they are going to make. So I'm also an observer in the politics at the moment for the Maldives. So this is yet to be seen. But as you rightly said, that I personally believe the first state visit of the president should be to India, and then he may continue to other states as well. But we are yet to see what will happen there in China.